What's up guys, my name is Pi with srlounge.com, and in this SR Lounge editorial we're going to be telling you which one of these 7 batteries is best for photographers and more specifically for your flashes. Now for complete details on our testing, be sure to check out the article on srlounge.com. We don't want to bore you with all the details, so this video is going to contain the highlights. So let's talk briefly about our testing procedures. We use the Vivitar 285 HV flash unit as our test unit. Why? Because it was designed back in the 1970s or 1960s, whenever it was made, you can tell. And it was built like a tank. This thing has a slow average recycle time, but it dissipates heat really well and it doesn't overheat. We found that the other flashes that we tested, we either burned them out from overheating them, or they had, if they were newer, they had thermal limiters, which would basically limit the recycle time, and it would give you inconsistent results because the camera flash is actually slowing itself down so it doesn't overheat. So this guy was awesome. It has a typical average recycle time around 9 to 10 seconds, which is very slow, but it doesn't really matter. So long as it showed a consistent fall off in battery power, and it did, it worked perfectly. So we use this guy. Now for the batteries, we purchased everything out of new retail packaging. So for the alkaline batteries, we took them straight from retail packaging, popped them directly in the flash. For the rechargeable batteries, we took them straight from the packaging, charged them once to full power, and then put them in the flash. But everything was used once and used directly from the retail packaging, so it was brand new. After that, we hooked this up to a little timer. We then timed its full power recycle time, so firing 1/1, and we measured it from 1 to 75 flashes, measuring the time in between each flash, as well as the overall average time. We did a little analytics and stuff on that. All right, so let's go over battery selection for this test. Now we selected 7 batteries, 5 alkaline, 2 rechargeable. For our alkaline batteries, we have the Duracell and Duracell Ultra Advanced. I feel like whenever they put an Ultra in it, it sucks really bad. All right, so we have these 2 batteries because they're very common and very often used. We have the Energizer and Energizer Ultimate Lithiums. We have Kirkland, because why not use Kirkland? Everybody loves Kirkland. I love Kirkland sandwiches, Kirkland sausages, anything Kirkland I'm into. So why not try out their batteries as well? They're super cheap. See how they do against the other alkaline batteries. And we also have our rechargeables. We selected Eneloops because we've previously done testing on rechargeable batteries, and it's clear winner that Eneloops are the best rechargeables. So we want to see how well do these rechargeables hold up against these other alkaline batteries. All right, so let's go over some of the more surprising results. Now in last place, we have the Energizer Ultimate Lithiums, which have been branded incorrectly because they should be called the Energizer Ultimate Crap. These things sucked. I mean, basically they were okay starting out of the box. They had an okay recycle time of about 8.6 seconds, which was still the slowest among the entire group. It was also the most expensive. These things cost $1.20 or $1.21 per freaking battery. Now, after about 25 flashes, that's where kind of the S hit the fan. After 25 flashes, these things essentially died. It went from a 12-second or whatever second cycle time to 24 to 50 to 70, and it dropped to 80 or 85 seconds by like the 30th flash, and from 30 on to 75 flashes, it took 85 seconds to get this thing to do 1 full power recycle. Now you can imagine how long that took and how boring that was sitting there watching this thing recycle once every 1.5 minutes. So this thing is terrible. Don't buy these. We're gonna toss this one right now. All right, so the next surprising result is that Kirkland, Energizer, and Duracell Ultra Advanced all performed almost equally across the board. Their first recycle times only differed by 1/10 of a second, around 8.3, 8.4, and their final recycle times only differed by like a fraction of a second, like 100th of a second. They were all around 12.5 seconds, which isn't bad at all. But the question is, why would you pay a lot of money for Duracell Advanced when you can get Energizer regulars? And why would you pay more money for Energizer regulars when you can get Kirkland? So, not a bad showing here with little Kirkland brand. I'm liking it. But still, these are 6th, 5th, and 4th place. Not the best performance, but it's pretty decent. Now, the best performing alkaline battery that we tested was actually the Duracell Standard. That's right. These little guys, they can be purchased in packs of 40 or whatever from Costco for quite cheap. They're actually almost the same price as the Kirkland batteries, and they're very good actually. So these posted new recycle times. So starting recycle times about 7.3 and ending about 11.68, which made them over basically a second faster than all of the other alkaline batteries, and they held up really well. So this is your best option when it comes to an alkaline battery. Now here is the most surprising result. Now in general, we kind of always expected rechargeable batteries to not perform as well as standard alkaline batteries. Well, that's not the case at all. These two Eneloops destroyed every other battery, and it wasn't by a small margin. For the Eneloop standard, we have a blazing fast, the fastest first charge recycle time of 6.8 seconds. For the Eneloop XX, it was at 7.1 seconds. The nearest second place was 7.3 with the Duracells, and then 8 point something for the other alkaline batteries. So these absolutely destroyed them. Now the 75th flash, this guy was at around 10.5 seconds, and this guy was at around, I think, like 9.9 seconds. Either way, they killed all the other flashes that were averaging around 11.5 all the way up to 12.6 or 85 seconds in the case of our ultimate crap battery. But either way, the Eneloops killed them from start until finish. Now you might be asking, what is the difference between these two batteries? Well, there's basically a small difference that we notice in the fall off. So basically the Eneloop XX loses power a little bit slower than the Eneloop standard. Up to about the 24th or 25th flash, the Eneloop standard is actually a tiny bit quicker than the Eneloop XX. Beyond that, the Eneloop XX holds its battery power just a little bit better than the Eneloop standard. So bottom line, both these batteries are great for professional use. And if you can afford it, step up to the Eneloop XXs. They'll hold their power just a little bit better than the Eneloop standards, but both are awesome batteries. This one does cost double per battery than this one. So there's a little price difference there. When it comes to an alkaline battery, if you're in a pinch and you just need alkaline batteries because you don't have enough rechargeables, get the standard Duracell battery or even the Kirkland battery, because all those will perform better and they're super cheap than any other alkaline batteries out there. So the standard Duracell is actually very comparable in price to the Kirkland batteries if you buy them from Costco in the big packs. All right guys, so that's it for our AA battery editorial. We hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you guys with the next video.